The Dune movie franchise could be better than Star Wars. Before you guys go commenting about how stupid I am and Star Wars will forever be better, I am a Star Wars fan, and it is my favorite franchise of all time. Okay, now that that was taken care of, let's get into Dune 2, the movie of the year. With a long list of blockbuster movies coming out this year, including Deadpool, I think it is a hot take for me to say Dune 2 is already the movie of the year before all of these movies come out. But it is movie of the year. My prediction is that Deadpool 3 will not be as good as it is hyped up to be, and Dune 2 will take the cake. We should all know at this point that Dune heavily influences Star Wars as well as many other media, and it shows a lot of that influence in this movie. This movie is the last third of the first book, and it has all of the action you can ever want. So if you were bored of Dune 1, then you will not be bored in Dune 2. While Dune 1 had the burden of establishing the background and basis of the entire universe, Dune 2 gets to run free with the characters that they have created. It does a great job at showing the different cultures of the different races and how wide the universe can get in this franchise. In Dune 1, the Fremen are hyped up to be very resourceful and ruthless when they attack people. And in this movie, we get to see a lot of that and a lot of action from the Fremen, which is great. They show a lot of their tactics and how they work against the Empire. The Harkonnen are even crazier and more of psychopaths in this movie, which is also great because it shows the variety of characters we get, and it's scary throughout the whole movie. And then once they meet up, in your head you're thinking like, well, what's gonna happen? Because like they can tweak out at any moment, or they can be like normal or well-mannered. I don't like it's a very on your toes type of movie. There's a lot of switch-ups in it, not bad ones though. I feel like I can't do a review without talking about how great the acting is in this movie. It's superb. And I'm about to start glazing now, but it's well worth it. Timothée Chalamet probably has his best performance in any movie in this movie. He practically plays two different characters, and they are completely different. Both sides of him you believe. He has a very powerful presence, and by the end of it, he is a completely changed character from the beginning. And it's not only him. This cast is like decked out. Like if you look at it, there's Austin Butler, Timothée Chalamet, Florence Pugh, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Christopher Walken, Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin. Like there's a whole lot of people. But Timothy just like kind of outshines everybody. But that's completely okay. The other people still get their spotlight. Austin Butler does a great job at playing Fade. I think he enjoys to be like just a little demon, because that's really just what his character is in this movie. It's just like a crazy dude. And I think Florence Pugh did a pretty good job at being the princess. I think someone that will be overlooked is Javier Bardem, who plays Stilgar. He seems like he is so into his character. He does a great job at his role, and he brings the comedy to the movie. There isn't much comedy without him in it. And before I go into the spoilers, I'm just gonna give a rating. I give it a solid 9.356 out of 10. Spoilers. Paul Atreides has to battle with dealing with the two birthrights he was given. One being the Lisan al-Gaib, and the other being the Bene Gesserit's chosen one. One of those is a fake prophecy, but the Fremen do not believe so. So you can see the conflict within him when he knows that they are just being toyed with. Throughout the first half of the movie, you can see his first character, which is him being very torn up about the fact that his dreams show him terrible futures and killing many people, and him leading just a terrible holy war, and knowing full well that it is not something that needs to happen because he's actually not the chosen one for them, and it is a fake prophecy. But then throughout the second half of the movie, he drinks the worm fluid and basically turns into a completely different character and fulfills those dreams that he has been having throughout the first and the second movie, and starts a holy war by the end of it. And Dune does a great job at just making Paul a badass while he does it. Paul takes advantage of the willingness of the Fremen and takes advantage of the fact that he knows so many things because of drinking the water of life, and basically convinces all of the Fremen that he is the Lisan al-Gaib, and uses them to get his revenge back on the Empire. And the comedy that I was talking about earlier, and I just love this character so much, was Hilgar. And the entire time Paul was doing it, he was like, "As it was written." And it's so funny every time, because it's like, it's whatever it is. Like, he does the littlest thing, and then Hilgar's like, "As it was written in the books, he is Lisan al-Gaib." He is truly the biggest meat writer of all time, but that's completely okay with me, because it was hilarious the entire movie. The fight at the end with Fade was superb. It probably has one of like the hardest scenes in like fiction, when Paul shuts up the degenerate while using the voice. It is just a great scene, and I have seen a lot of edits made because of it. Now, obviously, Star Wars is very, very similar to Dune in a lot of ways. The sand planet and the spice harvesters look like the Jawa ships. Star Wars literally references Dune in a scene in one of their movies. Sarlacc pit is the worms. The Empire. Fremen are like Tusken Raiders. And Paul and Anakin are slightly similar. I won't say they're completely similar, because they have very different stories to them. But I will say that neither of them are heroes in their story. This doesn't make either of them better than each other. Right now, I'd say that Star Wars has a better franchise, but obviously they have more movies to work with, and I'm not gonna say that Dune is gonna get better than Star Wars, because we don't know. And I think that we should all just not compare the two and enjoy them both separately. They're both great franchises so far and have great stories within them.